Week 15 of building my business from scratch. What a few weeks it's been. I've skipped a few of these because I'm going to admit it, I've actually had some time off. I've even allowed myself to do it now and again. I actually had 1 week off just being at home with the kids. And the other week, I just gave myself an opportunity to reset, come off social media, review everything I've done. I use an old process I learned from a coach called the STORM process, which is it allows you to reassess everything you've done to date and go from there. And I basically realized I had made a mistake. I had made a mistake. I had presumed that the business I was going to create was the right one and it was going to be perfect for the market. I still believe it is a great business, but I don't think it's the right time for loads and loads of reasons. And actually, I'll come back to a lesson I've learned around how not to use AI in the future. But this is a mistake I made, and I'm actually broken it down a little bit and use my whiteboard. So the mistake I made was, and there's a who, a how, and a why. So who do I want to help with this new business? I want to help entrepreneurs and founders. There are thousands in the UK alone. That's where I'm starting first. Who knows in the future? There are thousands of whatever you want to call them, entrepreneurs, founders, business owners. And because I've built two different businesses worth multi-millions in two different industries, that's the key, you realize there's so many of the same rules or methods apply across all industries. Okay, I haven't founded a hotel, but I have even worked with someone on their B&B, and so many things still apply. So I wanted to help entrepreneurs. That was the first thing. That's the who. The second bit, the how. How can I help? Well, when you grow a business that isn't reliant upon you, and that's what I call a truly scalable business, right? I can go on holiday. You don't have to worry about the business burning down. You can go away and enjoy yourself. That's a scalable business. The reality of that business, or having a business of that size, and usually it's in the millions, is there's so many different things to consider. So, what's your sales strategy? What's your marketing strategy? Do you have a great culture? What time do people come to work? Are you at home? Are you hybrid? What's your cash flow situation? How are you going to manage your operations? What's your admin? Do you need funding? I could go on. Bring it, teaching your leadership team, bringing them along, finding the right people. There's so many things to consider. And I've done that, and I've done it twice, and I've got the scars to prove it. And I thought, God, I could really help people with all this information, all this stuff up here. And I have, and I've advised 6 or 7 companies the last few years, and they won't mind me saying, but the value I've added to them has been massive. But how can I take it out and help other people? The mistake I made was it was too broad. It was far too broad. It overwhelmed people. And the last thing was, so I've done the who, entrepreneurs. What the how is, so I want to help entrepreneurs. I want to do it by solving everything in business, how you grow a business. And the why, this is a really interesting one, is people find it hard to grow a business and they've kind of been burnt in the past by different types of advice or investing in the wrong thing. So those are the 3 things I started with. And this is how I've changed it. Okay. So the who has now changed from entrepreneur to solo founder. So why solo founder? Solo founder. So I have been a co-founder with my friends Matt for the first business, and then my other friend Tony, Matt and Tony for the second business. And I'm now doing this for the first time on my own. I'm now a solo founder. So I now really, really understand what it's like to be a solo founder because I've been on both sides of the fence. So interestingly, when I've been interviewing dozens of founders over the last few months now, actually, almost every co-founder I've spoken to about maybe supporting them or trying to work out where I could add value, I've kind of felt a bit more of yeah, you could help, but we don't need it as much, or a little bit more resistance, just a bit like, yeah, sounds interesting, but I think we're okay. Whereas and I mean every solo founder I've spoken to has felt like, yes, I could really do with this help. And it's been really interesting. So I did some research, and there's two things that really, really hit home to me, which was number one, in 2019, of all the businesses started in the UK, 15% were started by a single person, a solo founder. Whereas now, this year, it's up to 40%. So of all the businesses that are started in the UK this year, 40% will be solo founders. I was like, wow, okay. So that's a growth market, right? That's a really good market to get into. The second thing is, what are the biggest problems or issues that they're seeing? And two things stood out. Number one, isolation. And this is a really interesting one because not many founders have admitted to me that I feel lonely or I feel isolated, because that's maybe a sign of weakness. I get that. But the conversations I've had, I can sense that it's more they don't have people to bounce ideas off, that they truly trust and are on exactly the same path as they are. When you're a co-founder, you can do that. I used to do that daily with my co-founders for 17 years, and you do not realize how valuable that is until it's gone. So I could really understand that, okay, solo founders are feeling isolated, without a doubt. And the second thing is there's a skill gap around marketing. So it's lead generation. How can I create leads, bring leads into the business, which help the business grow? But the kind of bracket, the subtitle has been marketing. So I was like, okay, well, hang on. Take off the take off the label of founder entrepreneur. Do you know what I am? I'm a marketer. I went to university, I did marketing. My first two jobs were marketing. I did a bit of sales, but they were digital marketing roles and a broad marketing role. I then started a marketing bloody agency. So it was like this light bulb moment going, bing, 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 bing. Okay, I'm onto something here. Okay, I'm really onto something. And that leads me to the second bit about the how, right? So, okay, so I can really help solo founders, no doubt about it. The second thing is, well, how? Well, do solo founders need help with how to manage their cash flow, or how to generate funding, or how to build a culture, or how to have a great mindset? Yes, they do. All of them do. We all do. I do. You never stop learning. But the thing that kept coming forward again and again was, I need help with marketing. Everything's bracketed into marketing. So suddenly I was thinking, okay, well, I've been a co-founder for years. Now I'm a solo founder. So I know both sides. And then we flip to the business side, and what my expertise is digital marketing, actually marketing in general, but strategic digital marketing. That's the key. And that takes me to the last point, which is, I can't believe how many founders have been burnt by either different forms of marketing agencies or these horrendous ads you see where it's, I guarantee 30 leads in 30 days, or that type of stuff. And it reminds me why we did so blimmin' well with our first business. We got to 10 million turnover, 150 people in the UK. That's because we were honest, we were authentic, and we treated people with respect. But everything we did was strategic. Do not go spending money for the sake of spending money. My God, you need to have the plan in place first. So it all led me to what I'm now creating, Underestimated Collective 2.0. And if I put it into like my value proposition, a line, I'm going to help solo founders make strategic digital marketing breakthroughs without breaking the bank. That's what I'm going to be doing. Now, I've built the program and I've used all my experience from my last 17 years, but this time I'm not going to be presuming what is right. I'm going to be looking for 10 founding members. And that is what I'm doing in the first week of September. It will then be closed. I will then do the program with them for 10 weeks. Sorry, not 10 weeks, 6 weeks. And then I'll have a product that I can go to market. So I wanted to capture that and I wanted to share that today because I think it's super important that, and I'm a perfectionist and I've had to relearn business is not about perfection, it's about adapting and changing. And who knows, this might not be right too, but it feels a lot more right. And I'm really excited to see where it goes. So that's it until next week.